Our first couple of weeks had a certain feel about them. We stayed at each site for only about 1 to 3 days and focused on driving across the country. As we enter into week number 3, we're starting to camp in a more relaxed fashion, and we're scheduling longer stays at each location. And we focused our destinations on friends and family instead of driving.
Yay, friends and family!
Our third leg of this journey started at the small town of White River, Ontario, where a monument to Winnie the Pooh was erected. We learned that in 1914, Lieutenant Harry Colburn purchased a black bear cub right here in White River, Ontario, while he was en route overseas.
He named her Winnie after his hometown, Winnipeg. Winnie became the soldier's mascot and was left in the care of the London Zoo, where she was watched and loved by many, including author A.A. Milne and his son Christopher. Winnie entertained visitors to the London Zoo for almost 20 years and lives on in the children's books by Milne and illustrator E.H. Shepard.
It is said if you still see a black bear in the wild these days in Algonquin County, there's a good chance that it is genetically related to the original Winnie.
Isn't that so cool?
Yeah.
We had a few days at Lake Superior Provincial Park, which lies along the Great Lakes shoreline between Sault Ste. Marie and Wawa, Ontario. Much of our time here was spent at the beach. And there's a lot of beach in this park. We saw a fair amount of rainfall, but managed to get out for some fun in between the storms.
You guys are like at the ninja gym. Good job. David, what do you think of Ninja Nana? It sure is nice to have the trailer while rain is falling now. Sure beats the tent camping.
Oh yeah.
Our grandson David is camping with us for the summer, and he's wanted to be an archaeologist since our visit last year to the Royal Tyrrell Museum in Drumheller, Alberta. So when we learned that pictographs were left by the Ojibwe people that used to live here many generations ago, we had to bring him.
The images visible today are believed to be 150 to 400 years old. Pictographs are painted with red ochre, made from powdered hematite rock, which was mixed with fish oil or animal fat. The variety of styles in the images tells us that many artists painted here. You can see familiar animals such as moose, deer, bear, and caribou. Other animal-like figures have horns and spines. There are also several canoes, the traditional method of travel used by the Ojibwe.
It's actually quite a rugged trail on the way down to the pictographs.
That's an amazing rock.
The best petroglyph we've got. Ah!
Some years ago, when we lived in Ontario, our friends who lived across the street from us moved to Sudbury. Sometime later, when we lived in Alberta, our friends next door in Alberta moved to Sudbury as well. So, as we passed through, we were lucky to have had these two families in Sudbury area that we could visit.
Brad and Erica were camping at Fairbank Provincial Park, and we got there mid-afternoon. David has often referred to their 3 sons as his brothers, and we enjoyed a good time with them.
The Fairbank campground had no sites available for the night, so we decided to sleep in a truck stop and then head out to visit Michael and Rosemary right after breakfast the next day.
Their family camp is a beautiful spot perched at the top of a large rock along the shore of Rock Lake, just south of Sudbury. They allowed us to set up our trailer in their driveway, and we spent a few days with them.
This may have been the first time that David saw just how thick the mosquitoes can get, and he was very surprised. We spent a lot of time on the lake. And this is where David caught his very first fish.
I'm sorry to hurt your fish.
You gotta watch the teeth.
See, look, the dot here.
Spikes on the back.
See the dot? The red dot? Don't let it go yet.
Oh,
Takes some getting used
Okay,
to.
you can do like
You get the hang of it.
fish.
Every kid does that.
Oh, sure.
Not gonna hurt you. Don't mommy do that. Huh? Very good.
Good job.
You ready? I'm ready to put him in.
Oh, yep, great.
Jump in.
Nothing like a catch.
There's a large sandbar at the center of the lake, and we spent a good part of one afternoon there with our lawn chairs set up in the water. It was hard to say goodbye to Michael and Rosemary. Next stop, Huntsville, Ontario, for grocery shopping.
By mid-afternoon, we got to Rock Lake Campground in Algonquin Park to set up. We had one night in the park's electrical area, and this is where we met Debbie and Al Burns. They were camped beside us, and we noticed them because they were camping with two green-cheeked conures, a type of parrot.
The birds were named Lincoln and Jade. They are the first campers that we have met that bring their pet birds along with them. David really loves spending time with them.
Just tell us about the birds and you and how you go camping with them.
Very cool. So these are two green-cheeked conures. We have two different color variations. This one right here, the dark green one, she's a yellow-sided turquoise. And this guy in the back, who will come up front in a moment when our friend David here gives her some peanuts, or him, he is a pineapple color variation. So David's going to give them some peanuts. I'll get rid of that broccoli out of there. And then if you were to stick maybe a peanut over here because she might drop it, Jade will come and get a peanut very happily, and then you'll have a good friend in Link. There's Lincoln. So we take these guys camping all the time with us, and they absolutely love. Oh, do you want to give him another peanut, honey? He's dropped his. So they travel in the truck in this small cage. We have a huge cage at home for them, but they're loose most of the day. And oh, there you go. Just find another one, honey.
And they're loose in the trailer, they fly.
They're loose on the trailer. We have two doors on our trailer, and that one goes into a bathroom, so we call that our airlock. So they're able, we can come in and out, shut the door, and then go in, and then there's not as much risk of somebody getting out, which is one of the things we really liked when we bought this trailer.
You can also put a mesh.
Okay, so they have...
Like, so that
The extra mesh door.
That's one less
That's
chance.
a dog.
Yeah.
Magnets, you know?
Nice.
Yep.
And I thought I heard you say you let them free in the gazebo too?
Yeah, when it's not so windy and it's blowing over today, but yeah, we'll let them free in there. It's funny, they don't fly a lot. They're climbers because they're conures, which is a type of parrot. Okay. And parrots don't fly as much as they climb. So they climb all over the place. That's why there's a lot of perches in here, because they don't fly in a cage. You don't need a flight cage for a parrot type bird. This guy is 2 years old, Lincoln, and Jade is a year. And he's my best buddy. He's very attached to me, and
Just got attached to your finger.
he just got attached to my finger. He's looking for peanuts. Where'd David go? He's coming.
David, you gonna feed them a little bit? There you go.
Oh yeah, do it over the dish. That's a good idea, right in there. That way if he drops it, he doesn't lose it.
Good job.
And Lincoln likes it. They'll hold things in their feet. That's one of the things about a parrot, right? They'll hold their food in their feet. And what's interesting is it seems that most parrots are left-footed. But we noticed that Lincoln is left-footed, but Jade is right-footed. She holds everything in her right foot, so that's kind of cool.
Right-handed and left-handed like people.
Yeah, just like people.
Interesting. And you said that you have a backpack carrier that they
I have a birdie backpack carrier. It's a cat carrier. It's all mesh, and they love to go for walks or bike rides in it, and we take them all over. We've taken them in stores and everything.
I made a 2-level perch.
You can give them another peanut if you want. Come over here.
The next leg of our journey is a week with friends Pamela and Larry. We haven't seen these guys for about 2 years. We've met up for a week of camping in Algonquin with them for the last few years, but with moving to Alberta and with COVID, we hadn't seen them in the past 2 years. It was exciting to be camping together again, and we enjoyed catching up on life.
We were also thrilled to be camping in one place for a whole 8 days straight.
Oh, what a relief.
We hiked and swam, kayaked, and enjoyed some good times, some laughs, especially when we watched 4 young men who were obviously new to camping try canoeing for the first time. They sat facing each other, then backwards, and they tipped the canoe a few times. It was so much fun to watch, and it brought back memories and stories of our past canoe adventures.
The guys were good-spirited and made it back to shore, laughing and soaking wet, with a story that I'm sure they'll tell around the campfire in years to come. My brother Carl and his girlfriend Patricia surprised us with a visit. And our daughter Sydney and son-in-law Chris and granddog Timothy popped in for a weekend of camping with us as well. It was so nice to see them all again.
After Algonquin, we were so excited to head over to Sydney and Chris's new house in Fergus, Ontario. They've been living here for almost a year now, but this was the first time that we were there to see the new place.
It is beautiful, and they even have a great place for us to camp out with a view of the pond and the outbuildings. So let me show you around, because this is really pretty. Here's our camper, and we are staying next to a field. They have a lookout tower. There is the playhouse, and then their house is over in the corner, and the garage. We're right next to their garden, which is really nice, being right next to the garden. We've done a little bit of work in it to help. They are growing soybeans out in the field behind us, but they haven't harvested them yet. And this has like just been beautiful. Like, look at, here we are. Vehicle and trailer just backed in nicely here. But our view is spectacular. And they had installed a 30 amp outlet for the RV too. Take a look around. There we are, right on their property. It's absolutely spectacular.
We may never leave.
No. Just joking, Sydney and Chris. We'll leave.
We still feel like we're in vacation mode. I'm not sure if this is how it will always feel or not. Either way, we are loving it.
We are.
It has been busy but enjoyable for the first month of our travel, and we're excited about everything still to come.
Full-time RV living thus far has been awesome. Now we're prepping to leave for our next campsite, and we're looking forward to seeing you on the road.
Check out some of our other videos and subscribe to our channel.
New content will be posted weekly.